Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, or Mike if you prefer, and I got a review for you. Today we're going to be talking about DC Comics Penguin issue number 1. It is written by Tom King, art by Rafael De Latorre, colors by Marcelo, Maiolo, and letters by Clayton, Cowles. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those names. It's no form of disrespect, just trying to read them. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel. It does help. Hit the bell. You never know when I'm going to drop videos. I don't have a schedule. It's all free. Doesn't cost you anything. Alright, let's get into it. This was heavily requested by a bunch of people out there. I can't remember specifically who, but I did get a couple different requests for Penguin. It does have a 0 issue, which I was trying to find. I have not found it yet. So there is a little bit of story before this. There's a couple other things. This book also mentions Batman Killing Time, which is a series that I missed out on. I'm not even sure if Tom King wrote that, but it does connect to that, and it does mention some other things in main continuity like Supercorp and stuff like that. I'm unsure if this is main continuity. It isn't Black Label or anything like that. I mean, everything's continuity, but I don't know exactly where it fits in, but let's get into it. So the book starts out, and it's basically like they're in the Bat boat. It's both Penguin and Batman. As this book goes on, most of the book is narrated by multiple different people. In this first scene, the book is cross-narrated by Penguin and Batman, both talking to themselves as they're going through this situation. As you can see, Penguin's been shot. It went through like his left lung. It went through like his arm, and now it's going through his lung. Batman's injured as well. He's got some kind of knife stabbed into his forearms, so he can't really use them functionally. And at this time, they're just stuck in the Bat boat and they can't get out. The book jumps back. It goes 1 year earlier, and keeping up with current Penguin, he is in Metropolis because of his kids, exiting him out. I don't know the whole story behind that, but that's what we got. Basically, Penguin's not the Penguin currently. He's just Oswald Cobblepot. He's living in Metropolis. It's supposed to be hiding. At this point, we get this Taylor guy who the Penguin has been going and getting his suits for about 20 years or something like that. The guy makes an off-brand comment about, like, Penguin looking better, and he doesn't even think when he says it. He just says it. The whole rest of this is him narrate, like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that, oh crap, he's gonna think that I thought he was ugly before and now he's pretty, kind of thing. Penguin plays it off and just kind of gets his suit, walks off. At this point, it's basically Oswald Cobblepot, taking his natural routine, during the day. He's being followed heavily by the FBI, and that's basically who's narrating the book at this point. And they're just basically trying to get him to mess up to, make sure he's not trying to be the Penguin in Metropolis type thing. They have traps and situations set up. Like this guy, he gets all mad at him because he bumps into Penguin, and he tries to get Penguin to escalate to anger, and it never does. The Penguin actually tells the guy I'm sorry, I bumped into you, it's my fault, when it was the other guy who was all staged. He was an officer. The book goes home. The Penguin goes home after the long day and doing his routines and stuff, being followed by the FBI. He goes home to his lover, Rita, which he's cooking dinner for. She was late. I think she's a surgeon or something like that, and she had double duties. Eventually, they skip dinner and make it to the bed. Basically, have a romantic type of situation. The next day, Penguin is actually working in his flower shop that he has opened up in Metropolis. It's called Blossom. It's another situation where it's a guy, he walks in and he's trying to get Penguin to get pissed off. Basically, the guy's telling the story about how he's looking for a flower that's not expensive but looks expensive because he pissed off his wife, and feels like that kind of gift is going to solve the situation. Penguin does make a comment about a rule of thumb, and this guy kind of gives us a backstory on where the rule of thumb term came up with, and it's nothing good. It has to do with wife beating and stuff like that. During the conversation, the guy kind of gets closer to Penguin's bird, and as he does, the bird actually bites him, shown right here. And at that point, he just kind of blames Penguin for the bird biting him and stuff. And eventually he leaves out. As he leaves out, there's two people that kind of enter the store as he's leaving. The next thing that happens is basically Penguin's bird gets shot, and it's by this agent right here, Agent Nuri Espinoza. I'm not familiar with this character. She is distinguishable because she has this like scar on her eye, and supposedly during killing time, Riddler shot her in the face, kind of thing. But basically, she comes in telling Penguin that he's going to be working for the government, doing something. He is taking into a holding cell where they don't say anything to him. They basically keep him there for a week, trying to get him to like stew or stool or whatever. They do feed him. They do have a kind of a pot for him to go to the bathroom, and that's about it. Eventually, after the week, Espinoza finally makes it in there, and she basically just sets down a contract and says, you're going to be working for the government. We have your wife, we have your business, everything's on lockdown, so you don't have a choice, yada yada yada. She smokes a cigarette and eventually offers him one, and after all this like kind of spiel, basically kind of demands that he signs the contract whether he likes it or not. He's told that he's free to go, kind of thing. He never does say yes, no, or anything. He's quiet through the whole ordeal. But it does present one of a very stimulating situation for a non-casual reader, because as this person was interrogating, basically laying down this contract, we get this in her head narration where she's basically scared out of her mind, because this is someone that has outwitted Batman for years. Even though Batman has taken down Crisis, saved the world, kind of thing, Penguin has shown up on a regular basis battling Batman. That fact alone scares the shit out of her, that she's sitting, across from this dude that's that badass. She is also known by this other thing, and it kind of plays a point when Penguin leaves, but she's known as Agent Fuck. Literally Agent Fuck, and it's because she like swears all the time, and at this point she hasn't swearing in 5 years, so you can see how scared she is. She's swearing at the top of her lungs, kind of thing. After he gets done with the police station, he announces that he had a suit that he was supposed to go pick up, and he's late for it because he spent the whole week there, right? He goes back to this guy and beats the hell out of him for no apparent reason. The guy, he really only says a line before Penguin just decimates and beats the guy up. We do get a narration from that guy saying like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have, but we don't get a real reason why, basically. We do find out that Waller is the one controlling Espinoza, and they're going after Penguin's kids, supposedly. They basically tell him that they want him back in Gotham, and they want him to be, back on the Kingpin status, kind of thing, and they don't care what route he does to get there, saying it's going to be backed by the government. At the very end, we go back to this scene where Batman and Penguin are drowning in the Batboat. Basically looks like they're about to die, kind of thing, and the last thing that is said is Batman says, you have to, and that's all we get before the end of the issue. But that is this issue of Penguin #1. I enjoyed it. There was not a whole lot into it. It's basically story build up, but the narration from the multiple people, it was interesting. So I'm kind of interested to see where it's going. But the big winner is Waller. As soon as Waller was showing up, I was on board. But that is my review. Let me know down below what you thought about this. Did you read it? Did you pass it up? That kind of stuff. I will let y'all go.